Now, I'm going to assume that, some not all relationships that we have had in our lives are necessarily failures. In fact, I would actually argue probably that any relationship that you had in your life previous to now is not a failure because of what you will have learned from it. That's the first thing. So, actually, let's reframe that and reframe that question so that how many relationships that have ended have you had? Because I'm just pointing that out because we tend to easily get the punishing stick out and, beat ourselves and, I'm no good, I can't do this, I'm not good at relationships. And that's not always a very helpful thing. Also, some people may have had what I call a successfully completed relationship. So a successfully completed relationship could be that you had a happy relationship and your husband or your partner passed away. That could be something that it's just life that happens. And also, it could be, as in the case of my previous relationship to the relationship that I'm in now with a man that I was with for 12 years. And we both decided that it had come to an end and we separated. And now we are really, really good friends. I would rate him as one of my best friends, actually, although we're not together. No, that was a successfully completed relationship. We didn't need lawyers or, there was no acrimony. We sorted everything out together at the end of our relationship. And so, that can also happen. However, the opposite can very easily happen too. And so, what can happen is that we start out, meeting somebody and, we have all of the angels come out and the bells and whistles go off and, we're in this wonderful sort of honeymoon period of, elation and, meeting somebody. And then as time goes by, issues come up and, it just gets really sticky, really crunchy. And if we're not careful, then the relationship can at that point fail. Let me ask how many people have had that experience. So you have been in a relationship, you've gone into a relationship and you've been, had that wonderful in love feeling. And then as time has gone by, issues have come up and, it's just got more and more difficult, more and more, harder and harder to deal with everything. And the relationship has, in the end, failed. This is the repeating patterns can come about. How many of you have had relationships where you fell in love with somebody and then after a period of time, maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it became too difficult and the relationship failed and you had to separate. So, yeah. And I'm sorry for you all that you're having this experience. And actually that it's great that you're here because this is actually what I want to focus on today, is this particular kind of an issue which stops us from developing a relationship. So yes, I like to think of it as rising into love rather than falling in love. I feel that is a more solid and a better way to get a good foundation established, because a good relationship is a bit like a dance or a sports match. It never ends. It's stimulating, rewarding, and exciting. And relationships are, one of the primary teachers for human development, and they're really valuable for that. So, I congratulate you all. I encourage you all to persevere with, the relationship finding issue, to keep going, because the more we practice relationships, the better we get at it. And particularly if you can have some awareness of what's going on for you as the relationship progresses and as the issues come up. But relationships are how we create our families, how we create communities. It's how we give our lives meaning. If you are young, then the potential is there for you to have a family with children. And if you are more mature years, then finding the right companion can be supportive and invigorating and co-creative. And there's lots of ways in which, we can, when we bring our lives together with somebody else, that we can then bring more satisfaction, more contentment, more peace and fulfillment to ourselves and to all the people around us. So they are incredibly important to master, and really one of the most difficult and challenging areas in life. And, it's not like, building buying some furniture at IKEA, for example, where you have the instructions of how to fit it all together, or having a manual for how you do a relationship. Doing a relationship there's more what I call, it's more of an art form, actually.